So I'll go ahead and start off, and then please let's be able to ask each other questions as we want to or need to. And so I love my Meta glasses. It was a fun trip to go over and get them. I got to go with Patrice and her husband Eric. So Patrice and I both got the glasses at the same time, and the same kind of glasses, just a different color. And so it was fun to start the experiment with my friend, and start learning about it and doing things with that. And of course, I think most people know that you can. I better take these off. It's going to be confusing, and he'll start talking to me. Um, I think most people know that you can say, Meta, what am I looking at? And so whatever you're looking at, it'll tell you whether it's people or buildings or pictures or whatever it is. One of the things I did first off that I was so excited about, because this is one of the things that I really need help with at home, is going through my cupboards. And so I really wanted to do that with one particular shelf, because there was a lot of bags up there and I had no idea what they were anymore or how long they'd been there. So with each bag, I asked Meta, what was it? And it told me, and then it would tell me when it expired. And so I really got to throw away a lot of stuff out of my cupboard that wasn't any good anymore. And usually, like I said, I need a sighted person for that. So that was really helpful. Um, Also reading the mail, reading any kind of what's in the mail. Donna and I've experienced together reading menus in the in restaurants and stuff, and particularly saying, read me what the salads are, and it will just if I call it a he, but you might call it a she because that's what you have. But anyways, um it'll go down to the salads and just read you the salad and the prices.
Cool.
And the beverages. So whatever you particularly want to hear about, or it'll read you the whole entire menu. Um, One of the things I wanted to mention, because I just talked about it, no, I didn't talk about it. I was just listening about it this morning on YouTube, is that it connects to Be My Eyes. And that's quite helpful, because with my glasses on, I can just say, call Be My Eyes, and they do. And then when they come on, when Be My Eyes answers, they're looking through my Meta glasses. And so I can be completely hands-free to be able to hold up whatever I want to for them to tell me what it is or whatever I need them to help me with. So it'll see anything. It's getting better and better all the time. It's also hooked up to Ira, so it also will help you with Ira too. And
Wow.
it's starting to have ongoing conversation with you if you keep talking to it. And if you don't ask it questions and keep talking to it and stuff. I remember one time I didn't know it was still listening, and so I asked what color a pair of pants were, and it told me, and it's really good with colors, by the way. And then I said, what color is this shirt? And it told me, and I said, I didn't think I was talking to it anymore. I thought it had been some time, and I said, just talking to myself, I wonder if they match. Oh, yes, he says, they will go quite well together.
That's pretty cool.
So it really helps with those kinds of things too. Recipes, anything you could possibly think of that you want to read, or any of that. I love these Meta glasses. They're one of the best things I've ever bought. So Bob, would you like to go next?
Sure. I wanted to jump back to some basics. So one thing I recently found out about, and I have this in an email that I could forward to Sophia, and she could include it in the show notes. So you can actually change the lenses in your Meta glasses. I thought, once I bought them, that I'm done, and now I'm gonna have to stay with what I have. But there are all kinds of lenses that you can get, different colors,
Oh, wow.
clear, and you get them through like Amazon, or you can find them on Amazon. They're about $17 for a pair of lenses, and you can easily change them out. So I just
Yourself,
wanted
you
to,
can change them out?
pardon me?
You can change them out yourself?
You can change them out yourself.
Wow.
And the link that I'll give to Sophia is a link to Sam at the Blind Life, his YouTube channel, and he actually is going through how to do it. He walks you right through it. So that's really helpful. And the other one is they recently came out with an update, and that video I can also have her send to all of us. To where you go into the accessibility settings on your Meta Glass app, and you can go in and change the level of detail that it will give you. Like if
Audio
you
now unmuted.
if you ask it, tell me what's in front of me, and it just kind of gives you a short answer. If you go in and you turn on this additional level of detail in the accessibility settings, it'll give you quite a bit more information. So this is something that they've come out specifically for the blind. So I'm glad that Meta is listening to the blindness community. I'm not exactly sure who, but they recognize that these can provide a lot more information to assist the blind community. So they came out with this feature of having additional details. One experience, well, let's say my Meta glasses were like my go-to, but I might be shifting away from the Meta glasses and going to Google Gemini and just using my phone. I realize I have to hold up my phone, but the level of detail and additional information that you can get through Google Gemini is like an order of magnitude above what Meta can give us
Right now.
right now. And so, as Becky said, they're constantly improving and updating them. One experience that I had that I wanted to share with the group is I went to an art exhibit here in Santa Cruz a little while ago, and I was walking through the gallery and I was standing in front of the different paintings, and I would ask Meta, hey, what am I looking at? Or hey, Meta, describe this painting to me. And Meta would do a great job. It was happened to be a landscape exhibit that I was at, and it gave tremendous amount of detail about the image. And to also echo what Bevy said, with all of this AI, it's about the art of conversation with this object, AI. And it's about being able to ask appropriate questions and continuing to ask questions and have a conversation with it. It'll answer your question, but sometimes it just answers your question and doesn't offer up additional information that's readily available. So you need to continue to refine, and I think this is something that we all are learning and will continue to learn, is how to ask the questions and how to ask for additional information, and just don't assume that when it comes back with its answer that's the end of it. They're in fact, almost every time there's a lot more information available if we continue to ask the questions. So when I was at this art exhibit, and I was standing there talking to myself with my Meta frames, and in front, this woman came up and she was standing beside me and just kind of listening to me, and my frames were loud enough that she could hear them. And she said, "That's so cool. What are you doing?" And I explained that I was visually impaired and that I need the glasses to be able to help me understand what I'm looking at, and it can describe these paintings in detail. And so we went on and looked at a couple of other exhibits that she was or a couple other paintings that she was listing in, and there was this one abstract painting, and so Meta did its best at describing about this abstract painting, and she said, "Well, that's interesting. Let me tell you what I see in that painting." And so then she explained, but then she would say, well, now I can understand why your glasses thought that it saw this, because what it really is in my mind is, or what I see in my mind is this. And so we were having this real nice conversation.
It's 11:15.
And then she actually said, well, I'm actually the curator of this gallery. And she said, I just find this so fascinating that a blind person is able to have this experience, and it's really opened her eyes as to the possibilities and things that she could do in the future for making the exhibits more accessible for the blind and visually impaired. So I was very glad that I ran across her while I was looking at the paintings. And rapidly becoming one of my best friends is ChatGPT. And I asked ChatGPT, what kind of questions, how can Meta smart glasses assist a blind person? And it came back with a very detailed list of all of the things that Meta glasses can do, many of which we've all talked about here already. But it again emphasized continuing to ask follow-up questions, and don't just limit yourself to a basic question. Continue to drill down and ask for additional detail. And one of the things that ChatGPT said was, would you like me to create this list that you can send to your iPhone so that you could always carry this with you and be able to ask questions. And so one of them was just in general, what can the Meta classes do for me? And then I did a separate one with it where I asked, if I'm at an art gallery with my Meta glasses on, what kind of things can I ask my Meta glasses about the artwork? And it came back again with a very detailed, helpful list of all these questions to ask it about brushstrokes. What was the artist's intent in this painting? What were they trying to convey? What does the lighting look like? Are there shadows? What's the perspective of the painting and the depth of the painting? And of course, you're asking about the colors and the frame. And so I am just thrilled with my glasses. I use them more for practical things, kind of like what Bevy was talking about. I use them in my shop, my wood shop, an awful lot, asking it about just different objects that I have. But I have a paint cabinet, and I used to have to grab samples of things and run them into the house and ask Mary Lee, hey, what is this? What is this? What is this? And now I just stand out in the garage with my Meta glasses, and it talks to me about what's in my shop. And Mary Lee's come back, she says, I'm becoming obsolete.
Wow.
So anyways, I love the Meta glasses, but I'm learning, like I say, about Google Gemini, and Roberto and I were playing with it a little bit earlier this morning, taking a picture with my Meta frames and then taking a picture with Google Gemini. And again, the level of detail was tremendously different between the two. Now the Meta glasses did give me a wider perspective about what was in the room and all I was looking at, and it didn't just concentrate on the photo. Whereas when I was talking to Gemini, I specifically asked it about the photo, and so it just kept giving me detail about the image and not everything else that was in the room and what it could see in the greater image. Now, maybe if I would have asked that question differently to Gemini, it would have just focused, or excuse me, would have given me the broader picture about those and lamps and chairs and that sort of thing that was in the room. That's the other thing that I find it can be very helpful with, is navigating through unknown environments and just asking it, what's in front of me? Is the door to my right or is the door to my left? Is the door open? Is the door closed? Is it a hallway or is it a door? And it's really amazing the amount of information that it can give us to help us navigate. How far away is the couch? Is there anything in my way that I'm going to trip on? And it says, no, your path is clear. And fortunately, it hasn't hallucinated yet. And it's given me a clear image of what's in front of me, so I'll stop there and
No, would you tell them about how you take a picture and the video too part?
So typically I would just, if I want to know like what's in front of me, or if I want to know about the painting, I would just say to the meta frames, hey, and what am I looking at? I don't ask it to take a picture. I just say, what am I looking at? And it'll automatically take a picture and then come back with a description of what's in the picture. Now, if I ask it to take a picture, it will just take a picture, and that's the end of it. It won't do anything unless I continue a conversation with it. Say, please describe that picture to me. And then it will do that, because you can use these just like a camera without it giving us any AI kind of feedback about the image. It can just take pictures or it can take video. If I manually want to do it, a single click on the temple where the button is on the right hand side of the temple, the earpiece there at the front near the hinge, just pushing once on that button and it'll snap the photo. And if you long press it, you can get it to do the video. Now, I think many of us have heard that Meta has also partnered with Oakley sunglass brand, and the new Oakley frames, from what I hear, they have a much longer battery life, like 8 hours of active use
Wow.
with your Meta frames. And you can take, God, I think it was like you could take like an hour-long video with the new Oakley glasses, whereas with our frames now, we're limited to, I believe it's like a 60-second video. Now you can keep pushing the video and keep it going, but it shuts off. Whereas with the new Oakleys, you can have a much longer video running if you would like to.
Wow.
I'll stop with
I
that.
haven't done it, but I also heard that I got an update saying that we also now can get it to talk to us ongoing. So we don't have to keep asking it.
Yes, and I turned that on this morning.
Okay, and how
And
was
played
it?
with that a little bit. It's I think you might have yours on already and not know it, baby, because when you were talking about, you weren't aware that your glasses were actually on and listening to you.
Yeah,
So it's actually Meta AI Live, and it's just there, just listening all the time, and will answer anything that you ask, and can continue to just have this ongoing conversation with it.
interesting.
I just want to mention from a sighted perspective, if you are taking photos and videos and sharing them with family and friends or anything off of your glasses, the quality is quite good. Of the resolution of the photos and videos.
You know.
So I would say it's equal to, iPhone photos, etc. Pretty good.
Sam from the Blind Light, he did a comparison with a new set. I can't remember the name of them, but a new set of glasses, not the Giga ones, but
Echo,
not Echo. It's a third one. It's not a interactive type of eyeglasses. They're strictly cameras and video. So you can take. Anyways, he kind of compared a number of the smart glasses, and he felt that the Metas had the best image quality, like Patrice, or excuse me, like Sophia was saying. So that's good to know.
Bethy, I wanted to say, Bob told me about the, what's it called, Bob? Not extra options, but,
Detailed description.
that's it, detailed description. And so I turned it on. It's in, accessibility, and I was amazed.
Excuse me, accessibility within Meta, not just.
Within Meta, excuse
not
me.
the
Thank
iPhone
you, Bob.
accessibility.
Big change, yeah. And I was amazed at how much more information it was giving me. So I just wanted to say, thumbs up on that. And also, I used Google Gemini the other day because there's a new restaurant and I wanted to know the menu. And he was kind of telling me stuff. And then I chatted. I said, "Are there burritos?" Because that's what I wanted. And he didn't mention it. He goes, oh yeah, there are 3 different kinds, blah, blah, blah. But it's really, I was so tickled by that, thinking that if I'd asked Siri to find me the menu, and, then I'd have to go on Safari and, read the menu and try to figure out where it was. Whereas I just said, hey, and thank you, Roberto, because he showed Bevy and I how easy it is to use in a class at one point. So I don't mean to take us off track, but it's so cool when you can use a combination of all these tools easily. So that's
Yes.
my piece.
What else do you do with them?
Hi, this is Pearl. I have a question for Bob. Bob, how did you find the live option?
Do you have like the meta notifications turned on? So this morning it came up with a new notification, and when I
Oh.
clicked on it, it said, "Would you like to try the new live?" And I didn't have it to do, so I was just playing with it this morning. So it actually popped up in when I first
Okay, yeah,
opened the Meta app this morning.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it's not available for everybody, so they're kind of letting it out to people bit by bit. So
Yeah.
okay, I'll look. Thanks.
Hey, Perla, this is Holly. Good morning, everyone. And
Hi,
I
Holly.
do apologize. I came in somewhat late. A technical challenge, and I really hope that it was not for the 3rd time in 10 years, I accidentally somehow called emergency services. And so I
Oh,
hope that
no.
wasn't coming in through to the class. Let me say it works, and it notifies our emergency contacts who then contact us. Anyway, here I am, and this is such great information I've been hearing. Thank you. I can speak to the live AI, Perla. What I say is, hey, M, please start live AI. And she will do that. That's after my glasses have been activated. I put them on my face, and you hear the tones. And I just asked her to start live AI, and then can talk, as Bob was saying, very conversationally, very naturally, and not have to use the hey M each time I ask a question. And for example, I use them around the house, in the kitchen, quite a bit, as well as other technology that we've got. An example would be all my different boxes of tea. I can point to one, especially with the live AI going, and I can say, what's this one, please? And what's this one? And I point to it. And if I've got a whole row of them, she will tell me. It's just quite incredible. I have noticed that there's a little bit of so accurate in so many ways, but I'm sure before I actually joined, you were talking about hallucinations. And an example of that being that when I asked if there was honey vanilla chamomile tea in the cluster of tea boxes on the counter, she said, oh, yes. I said, where is it located, please? Oh, it's on the left. Well, it was on the right. So she's dyslexic, maybe. And the same thing happened with my front door. Very accurate information. Like Bob was saying about what the surroundings were. There's this on the left, this on the right, doors in the front. Describe the door. And when I asked, where's the doorknob, please? They told me it was on the right. Guess what side it was on?
Left.
Isn't that interesting?
Oh,
Yeah.
And I haven't figured it out, but there's some things that it dials in so many things spot on, and other things it's like, whoa.
Yeah, somebody told me that they asked how many chairs were in the room and they already knew the answer. And it said there's 3 chairs. And then the person said, no, there's 4. And then he came back and said, oh, you're right, there are 4.
Mhm. And they say, thank you for the correction. Oh, and back to the live AI, Perla. After I finish, if I'm going to be asking quite a few different questions about things in a row, I like that live AI conversational. It's just faster, more efficient. And
Right.
when I'm done with it, I'll say, Hey, stop live AI, and she will announce that it has stopped.
Okay. Hey, that's great.
And it does drain our batteries quite quickly in the live AI
Yeah.
mode.
Okay. All right. Thank
Okay.
you.
You're
Mhm.
welcome.
Those of you who do not have the glasses yet, the way they're charged is they have this case, and you put you charge the case. The case will stay charged for many hours, and so when your glasses start to lose their battery, then you just fold them up and put them in the case, and you can charge them right there in the case. You don't have to plug them into anything, because the case is charging it. So that makes it, I think that is a convenient thing to be able
And
to
you
do.
gotta plug your case in sooner or later, though, right? To charge the case.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's about every, I think I heard 35, is that too much? I don't know.
Close. I think
Long
it's
time. It'll stay a long
32-ish.
Long time.
Yeah.
A case is being passed around counterclockwise around the table, so you can check it out. Doesn't have the glasses in it, or maybe it does. It does have the glasses in it.
That's right.
Bevy, this is Hannah. Can I ask a basic question?
Yeah.
The Meta is always encouraging us to open the Meta View app before using the glasses or while you're using them. Is that important?
Yes, it is. I couldn't get my Meta glasses to work at first, and my friend Patty here,
That's
she
pretty
told me you have to keep your Meta glass, you have to keep the app open. And so all I have is it up at the top where the app
Okay.
switchers are.
That's cool.
That's where I have it.
Oh,
Is I just keep that open. I don't take the three fingers and close that one. And so you don't have to go open your app every time. In other words, you can just keep it up there in your app switcher and it works great.
Oh, I see. Oh, clever. All right. And I have a second remark just to put in. I haven't been doing all this work with my Meta frames, glasses that you are all speaking of, and I admire it and will work on it. But the thing that is definitely true is that they are better for hearing loss. And this sounds ridiculous, but it isn't. The Meta frames have 5 microphones around, and 3 of them, I believe, I haven't checked this today, are around the front of the frames, somewhere around your nose and the bottoms of the 2 sides of the 2 lenses. And they definitely improve hearing. And anyway, I was mentioning this to an audiologist the other day, and she said, this is just a piece of general info, that hearing aids started off being attached to spectacle frames because of this advantage of where the microphones are. But anyway, I do recommend them for people with hearing loss. But anyway, that's all. Thank you.
Hannah, do you wear them? Do you have hearing aids?
Yes, I wear hearing aids as
Yeah.
well.
As do
And when
do they work?
let me just I'll just finish that. So when I put on the frames, my hearing, the quality of the audio improves, and certainly in crowded settings, there's no doubt that it's an advantage at hearing the person who's talking to you.
Speaking of that, I thank you, Hannah, for sharing that. And is there anything else that you do with the glasses that you've used them for that you'd like to share?
No, I feel ashamed. I've been busy with a lot of other things, mainly about, speak up and things. And I haven't got down to this. So I'm listening to all of you and realizing that I can stop asking for information. I'm like Bob before he realized he didn't have to ask Mary Lee things, and only I'm the before picture. So I will work at it. I know, but it will take me, some time and dedication to get good at this and so on. I have to say that with my useful navigable vision, although it's very low and mostly restricted to colors, there are some of the assets that the frame provide that I don't need, but I need all the reading stuff. And I need increasingly color stuff, and also navigation in darker situations. So I wonder if that's true for other people with some low vision.
Okay, Bob's gonna add another example of that too.
So I happen to have the Hadley newsletter, and it's kind of small newspaper size newsletter that they send out. And I asked my meta glasses to take a look and read to me what I was holding. And it went through and, you know, read the headline and then gave a synopsis, and it just kept going on through that whole page. And I quickly realized that it actually had to read every single article all the way through, because it just summarized the article back to me. It didn't give me line for line what was in the article. It just kind of summarized it. And then I was able to say, oh, read me in detail, you know, this particular article. And it went to that particular one, and it read me line for line everything that was in there. So if you're looking at like a magazine or a newspaper, something like that, I find it really helpful, because it's like in the old days when you were able to skim a newspaper, well, for those of us who could, skim a newspaper and just say, see the headlines, and oh, I'm not interested in that. Oh, I'm not. Oh, there's a good one. What is that? And so it was a way for me to get information quickly from a printed document. The other thing that does is if it sees a phone number in the text that it's looking at, you can just ask it to call that phone number, and since they're connected to your phone, it immediately dials that phone number. And I found that really, really helpful. I think I maybe mentioned this once before. I was holding my dog on my lap and asking it about my dog, and does it have a collar? Yes. Does it have tags? Yes. Do the tags have any writing on them? Yes, it has the dog's name. What is it? And it told me Henry. And is there anything else on the tag? There's a phone number. And it read out the phone number. I said, oh, please call that phone number. And so then I could hear across the house in the kitchen my wife's phone ringing.
That's great.
She goes, yeah, she knew it was me that announced me. And she goes, yes. I said, I have your dog. So that's a handy feature that it can dial phone numbers if it can see a phone number.
That also reminds me to bring it up too, is that because it is connected to our phones, it'll tell us when we get, if we have it on our heads, it'll tell us when we get messages, text messages and emails, and it'll make phone calls, it'll answer phone calls. And one thing I really like too is that you can double tap on I do it on the right hand side because I'm right-handed, but double tap on the lens and it'll start playing music, or Spotify. And so you can swipe forward to make it louder, I think, and backwards to make it softer, to change the volume on it and stuff like that. So there's a lot of extra things that you can do. You can listen to your audio books, Bard, whatever, because it's connected to your phone, and go through your apps and use it that way too.
Yeah, just think of them as not just the smart glasses, but they're just Bluetooth earphones.
Yes,
that you got
exactly.
connected to your phone.
Yeah.
Well, and if I may, that leads me to something else I wanted to share that I just discovered to use with our glasses. And it is the Soundscape community navigation app for the visually impaired. I just started working with it this week, and it doesn't necessarily pair with our glasses, but our glasses are stereo. And so by wearing my glasses and having my Soundscape app up and running, I get information in my left ear if the item or location street sign is to my left, and the same if it's on my right. And I can set up markers and audio beacons. I just started working with it last night. I've looked at the app extensively to kind of figure it out a bit, and I'm very, very impressed. Years back, you might remember there was the Soundscape app, and that kind of went away, and then Voice Vista got picked up and went, and now this is on the App Store called Soundscape Community. And I just discovered also that when you open the app, once you get it set up, the top left is the menu button, and under that there is a button for help and tutorials, which has got a lot of great stuff to start with. There's also a button there where it says you can set up some particular Bose frames, and also I think some Apple special earbuds, AirPods rather. We can just skip over that because we don't need to do anything special to use that app with our glasses. Our glasses are just acting as that open ear stereo headset, basically, where we can get information from the navigation app. And I'm looking forward to learning how to use it. So just wanted to share that. And oh, one more piece on that. I have a friend who's using it very successfully, told me about it. She lives back east in the snowy country, and she sort of started out by putting a marker on her front door and on her, I think it was her mailbox, because during snowy times it wasn't all plowed and all of that. And so she can go get her mail and then get back to her house. So that's how she's, I think, sort of started, but she's out and about using them all the time.
So what kind of marker did she use for that?
It lets us drop, in the app, you can drop a marker and you can name it. I did one last night for
Are we talking about the Soundscape or the Meta glasses?
Now we're talking about the Soundscape.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yes. So I didn't want to go into too much detail because this is about our Meta glasses, but it seems to be an app for navigation for us in terms of our surround. It even told me all of the stores and places up in our local shopping center and how far away they were. And then I think I could probably navigate there if I chose one. I don't know that yet. It's all new. So just some thoughts, and I'll pass the baton.
So is there anybody else that hasn't spoke yet that has the Meta glasses that they'd like to share what it does for them?
This is Tiffany.
Hi,
And
Tiff.
hi, and I've had them for just like a couple months now. And I've used them for quite a few things. I've actually, like for instance, I go to my bank and I also go to in the same shopping center as CVS. I will use them to connect to IRA or to other services, and use them to be able to look around because I'm just walking essentially through a parking lot. And so I use them, and they can see, and they guide me through the parking lot to get from the bank to the CVS. And also using the GPS that way they can see through that. And I've used them for so many things, for my mail. I also use them. One thing I love for is my medications. It's really good with that. And what's great is it'll actually tell me if I've got it turned like part way. It'll say, turn it to the left or the right. So I can, to see the full label. If it's only showing partially, it actually instructs me which way to turn it. And it does fairly good. It's really quite nice. I appreciate that a lot because that's something that I've struggled with for a while, is trying to, get things to read the medications right. And so that's been really good. And I've used it for recipes and for quite a few things. And they've been working great. They're really, really quite good, I think.
Awesome.
Can I mention something?
Yeah.
I was on YouTube one time. I read a little bit about them. And the first thing they talk about is that when you use these devices, you always should have your cane with you. Because your cane, even though these mobility devices, there's certain things they probably won't do, like there's something in front of you, you run into it like a fire hydrant and something like that. You've got your cane, you're gonna save yourself.
Yeah, you don't want to. It's not to replace your cane,
Yeah,
your dog, your.
Yeah, it isn't like that.
Hi, this is Perla.
Hi, Perla.
You guys have mentioned a lot of things I don't want to repeat, but there's one thing, I use it as a brain. Yeah, like,
Oh,
you
me
know,
too.
Love it.
it's
right.
better than it's
Oh,
better than
cool.
my brain. So, for example, when I'm walking with my friends, or we're sitting in, Harv and I are sitting around at a cafe or something, and I'll try to think of a movie or an actor in a movie or the name of a plant or whatever it is, and I'll say what I know about it, and more often than not, she will come up with the name I'm looking for. So that is really helpful. Much better than Siri, I have to say. Also, you can create reminders. I use it a lot when I'm wearing my glasses. You know how with Siri, I'll say, Siri, create a note. And I'll say, okay, remember such and such book or whatever. And with the glasses, you can do that with the glasses. And then when you go into the app, all of your reminders are there in the app. So those are two things that hadn't been mentioned yet that I thought I'd bring up.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to say something also that some people like myself, I go out in the woods a lot, like out in the country. And if you don't have Wi-Fi out there, none of that stuff's gonna work.
Yeah.
So we didn't mention price for those people, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it starts at $2.99.
Mhm.
And I think, Patty, do you remember how much we paid for ours? Was it three?
Audio now unmuted. Zoom us has
I
new
thought it was,
window.
sorry, voiceover. I thought it was around 325,
$3.25.
but we also got those, those, I'm gonna call it a lanyard, those holders for the glasses and, but that's what it was. And that, we did that last December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think it goes all the way up to 400. Is that
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And Carol just asked where you can purchase the glasses.
I recommend the Ray-Ban store over in the Valley Fair.
Valley Fair. Yeah. That's where Bevy and I got them too,
Mhm.
Bob. Yeah.
And Holly too. Yep.
Because they knew how to set them up. They didn't just hand you the glasses. This woman literally sat down with us and said, okay, so let's do it step by step. And so when we left that store, we were in business. It was just terrific. The customer service is spectacular.
Does anybody happen to know, like, have you heard about where the Oakleys are available?
Yeah,
Are
they have them in the same store.
Oh, they do.
I'm sure they do.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're a little
Okay.
bit more expensive, I've heard.
Yeah, about $100.
$100 more.
It's just a different type of frame
Yeah, longer, better.
and a longer battery.
Longer battery.
That makes
right.
But you can get them at the Ray-Ban store. That's good. to know.
Do you
That's
know
cool.
is there changeable lenses in those Oakleys?
I don't know about the Oakleys, whether you can change
I
that.
really like the idea of Ray-Ban having exchangeable lenses.
Yeah,
This
you
is
have
Hannah.
lenses too that will go from light to dark, like you can wear them inside.
Transition.
And transition.
Thank you.
Now I bought those, so I have the transition lenses. So I do have some residual vision. And so I primarily use my glasses indoors. So I'm glad that I have the transitions for that. But I will say when I go outdoors into the bright sunshine, the transition lenses do not get dark enough for me.
Yeah.
And so I carry my regular sunglasses with me and my meta frames with me and swap them out.
Yeah, that's good information. Also, if you go to
I-
the store, you can try on all their different frames, and we had Eric with us, but also with the lady that was helping us, both of them, of course, Eric would be, but the lady too was really helpful
Audio
to
now unmuted.
help Patty and I out with.
Zoom us has
Those
new
look really
window.
good, and well, those aren't as great, so let's try this one on. And
Yeah, and
Um,
and Eric is wonderful, but I really enjoyed her how do I want to put it? Her engagement. I'm glad
Yeah,
she was
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
giving us the real deal.
Right.
Well,
you know.
and also this is Perla. I went back there because I was having a problem with it, with the app and stuff. And the manager, I think his name was Julian or something, it started with a J. And he was really helpful on, getting it fixed and set up properly and everything. I don't know what had happened. I don't remember, but very helpful. I'm glad that I went there and that I recommended it to all you people. So
You sure did.
Right.
I should have asked him for a cut.
Yeah. You were our trailblazer.
Yes.
The only thing I have is, the only problem is transportation over there.
You can buy them online.
Yeah, but it's not
That
like
would
being
be
there and
the
have to
same,
set up.
I
Yeah,
think.
and
No,
not
it's
being
better
able to
to
try
have
the
it
different
there.
frames
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they do fit differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have a lens crafter over here in our area? I hear that they carry them too.
Oh, and
I think we do.
somebody on,
I believe.
actually somebody on, YouTube, I just heard, said that Target had them.
Yes, they
Yes.
do.
And Costco perhaps getting
Yes.
them or has them. I just don't know about locally.
Yeah, Target, but they're more limited in
Yeah.
choices and
Yeah,
things.
you're gonna get
Mhm.
better choices if you go in.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And probably better help at
Yeah.
Ray-Bans
Yeah,
than
yeah.
Costco.
yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
And that's worth a lot.
But they do sell them, or they did. So
Mhm. Mhm.
Like I
Just
said,
want to
some-
share with the group here, just for perspective. Before the Ray-Ban Meta glasses came out, a lot of the sort of comparable devices for our clientele, like the Envision AI glasses, etc., are much more expensive for the
Much
price point for these.
Yeah.
Compared to what else is out there,
Mhm.
is quite good actually.
Even the new ones, the Echo that's coming out, these are a little cheaper.
Significantly cheaper than Envision AI glasses, for instance. Those types of devices will retail for in the thousands of dollars. So I was quite happy to hear how relatively affordable
Yeah.
the Meta glasses are.
And I think the Echoes were like $5.99 for the new Echoes.
yes, I pre-ordered them. Just because there's a 30-day return. So I wanted to see if they, did anything that I like better than what I've already got. So I'll have a collection by the time we're through.
Well, you have the Envision glasses too, don't you? Or
I do. And but I wear these more than the Envision glasses. I have sunshade glasses on my Meta. So the Envision glasses I tend to use at home because I have a clear lens in that. But and they do different things, and Meta does better at a lot of things like color, because the Envision camera, they just can't get around the fact that their camera is old tech. It's just not as good a camera as what's in the Meta glasses.
So I want to know from the people that don't have them, if there are any questions for anybody, any of us that do have them.
I do want to mention that for the Meta glasses, the setup is pretty easy. It's like 5 steps, but when it comes to trying them out, such as a wide frame, small frame, that's where it really does come helpful to try it at the store,
Yeah.
just to see what kind of frame size you want. And as Bob mentioned, like the transitional lens, I think that part is kind of important because you know, depending on how much you want it to transition in, the amount of time it takes to transition when you step outside can be a little too lengthy as well, as from what I heard feedback.
Yes.
So some people that might bother their eyes at the beginning. Some other things that you guys kind of mentioned is that it does work with Siri. So if you don't, for whatever reason, need to use Siri while you have the Meta glasses on, it still works with Siri. It works with Siri shortcut. You can still use ChatGPT while you're wearing the glasses. It won't use a camera. ChatGPT cannot use a camera, nor Gemini, but you still can talk to ChatGPT and Gemini through the glasses. It's like a typical phone call. So just wanted to throw those details in there.
That's awesome.
Let me ask you a question about the Gemini and the photos. So couldn't you take a photo with your Meta? And so then it just gets saved as an image, and then you share that image or attach that image and send it to Gemini and have Gemini describe the image that you just took?
You could, but I guess the part where we're trying to I guess establish here is the hands-free part.
Right.
So in a way you would have to grab your phone back out and do that part.
Right.
But yes, but you can still talk to Gemini live while you're wearing the Meta glasses or ChatGPT.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Some places you walk in like a restaurant, it's real dark. Do they work for that if you can't see where you're going? I mean, if it's like El Palomar, it's one part of it's really super dark when you walk through. Would they help in that situation?
Wait, what was your question?
The question was if you walk through a dark area where there's no light, like through like if you go through El Palomar, it's like there's a place where it's dark.
No, not too
You
well.
can ask Meta, what do you see?
Yeah.
It'll help you that way.
Okay.
But as far as it does require light in order to work well, to be reliable.
And this is a basic question. Does it go through? Do you have to have an iPhone?
No, you don't.
You have to have a smartphone.
A smartphone, okay.
Do you have a smartphone, Carol?
Yeah, I have a smartphone and Android.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think it does. Yeah, works with the
Just
Android.
get the app.
Yeah.
Well, the app is different than the Meta glasses itself. The app, you could get the app and you still could get the Meta experience, but it's not the same as wearing the glasses itself.
But wearing the glasses, do you have to have the phone too?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you have to have that Wi-Fi signal.
Yeah, okay.
Has anybody done the hotspot, the Wi-Fi hotspot? I wonder if your glasses would work.
I think-
Like John was saying, going out in the woods and could.
No,
could
I'm
have
serious.
hotspots.
In some places, a lot of places around you can't get a signal, not even a Wi-Fi signal. Like if you go up like Rolling Ghost Road, there's no signal up there. You go probably there's a lot of places out here like
Yeah, like my house.
like
Yeah.
There's
So does
places
the
on-
hotspot get around that or not?
Good.
No, because
Yeah.
they're Bluetooth.
They're Bluetooth.
Okay.
But you would go back to your good old Orion or something like that.
Okay, so my question is, because I am in the market for some.
Good. I thought you were supposed to get him last Christmas as a
Yes.
present.
I waited. I'm not waiting no more.
Sorry, Alberto.
It's almost Christmas.
She said,
My birthday passed, like Christmas, Mother's Day.
she went on a vacation instead. She went on a vacation, so.
No, I pay for that.
You're defending yourself.
My question is, how is it different from what Gemini could do? If Gemini could do that, other than the hands-free, right? Because you're hands-free.
It's so nice. My experience is it's so nice to have the hands free. Because you can pick up, say like going through my cupboard, I can pick up the container and hold it out with both hands. And I was thinking also this morning about when I called Be My Eyes, without the glasses, sometimes I have to put the phone down on the counter so I can get whatever they need to look at in a different position and all that stuff. But with the glasses on, you don't have to do that. I mean, if they say, can you turn it a little bit to the left, then you've got both your hands to work with. So it makes it a lot more convenient.
And it doesn't seem like you have to align the object necessarily with the glasses. You know, like some of the other, like, well, Gemini and other ones where they'll give you a little bit of direction, you know, the image is off to the, you know, move your camera to the left, move your camera to the right. I've not experienced that with the Metas.
No, me neither.
Audio
Yeah,
now unmuted.
that you would get it if you go like
Sumas
on
has new window.
Gemini Live with.
Sorry, Roberto's talking. I'll get right back to you when he's finished.
You would get to the Android phones. If you get Gemini basic, like a premium version of Gemini, it's a lot different
Right.
versus the iPhone. On the Gemini on the Android phone is like superpower. I don't know what kind of world it is, but
It's better
it
for
is
sure.
so different.
Cause I have it on my iPhone and I have it on my Android too. I like it better on my Android.
With the on the Android, it's I don't even know what to say. It's so different. Basically, it's like the Meta glasses. It's like the Siri plus Meta glasses.
You still wouldn't be hands free. That's the only thing.
Yeah, it's that, but it's I guess it's to everyone from what everyone has said. It's a big change.
Wow.
Hannah, what were you saying? Hannah?
Debbie, I think it was me. This is
Oh, sorry,
Patty.
honey.
I said no problem. I didn't have anything brilliant to say. All I was going to say is the on the fly experience with the Meta glasses is fabulous. That's what I like about it, that I don't have to stop and do the extra steps. You know, that's the blind thing. Okay, what extra steps do we have to do to get this done? And it's just immediate. And you know, it's a great psychological boost that I don't have to open something and then go here and then do that and then I'm there. And so I really find that fun, that I don't have to line up my phone to it, and all of that's still good. I mean, you know, these glasses don't replace anything, and they certainly are not good navigation tools. But I just love the impulse of the, you know, I can just be impulsive. Well, what the heck is that? You know, so I'm really enjoying that. And I get tired of wearing glasses. I've worn them since I was 3 years old. So that's the other problem, is I think I don't want to wear glasses, but you know, when I'm running around and doing things in the house, I really like them, and I can switch from my book to answer a call without any big hairy deal. Yeah, it's just very smooth. It's a treat, I think.
And we touched on this just a little bit in the beginning, but I wouldn't trust them for safety situations. I'd
Absolutely.
always question the
Yeah.
information that they give you. They are able to tell you, is the traffic signal red? Is the traffic signal green? Is the walk signal on? But you know, I don't know that I trust that yet. I might be getting there, but
You're like, still use your O&M skills.
yes, absolutely.
Yes,
Don't
for sure.
don't give up your O&M skills.
Would it
They're
did
an
help
aid.
you to say, is there a chair, is there anything in front of me as I'm walking? And you said that it was able to help you.
Yes.
Yeah, so you know, and you could probably even find the bathroom sides. But one of the things I did this morning was I was waiting for my ride and kind of wanting to talk to my neighbor, and I heard somebody out there, and so I turned my head that way and I asked him, what am I looking at? Told me the color of the car and the color of the house, and that the yard was very groomed. And then I said, is there a person there? And then he said, no, there's no person there. So it told me that my neighbor wasn't out in front. But so I was thinking about with you, Andrea, I wonder if it would even help, you know, is with your daughter is, you know, whatever information coming home from school. Although they won't recognize people. Yeah,
And that's the advantage of the echoes, at least from what they said in their presentation on Check It Out, is that they will identify people. And you can even take a photo and link, that person's name to it, and it will remember that. So that it seems to be, I'd be curious when Pearlie gets hers, if she experiments with that.
right. But John Glass told me something that really made a lot of sense to me, and is that with the other ones, they're private. But the meta glasses they got big money. And so if things coming up, being able to improve them and having good updates and stuff like that, seems like it might be more possible with Meta just because of the money backing versus the smaller Echo
Mhm.
companies and stuff. I mean, I don't know that for a fact, but it just made sense to me when John said it.
Well, plus the Ray-Bans are for anyone.
The Ray-Bans are for anybody, yeah.
Mhm.
And the Echo are for anyone, right? No?
No, the Echoes are just for blind people.
Well, they're not just, I mean,
Well, no.
they were designed for the blind.
Right.
The metas were designed for the general public.
Right,
I have a question.
yeah.
Some of us, like me, sometimes I go out in like rainy weather or bad weather. Does that make a difference to them, or how does that work?
I don't have any experience.
I don't think it makes any difference.
I mean, is it like if the rain's falling and you're asking,
I mean, if you
Well,
just laid them on the sidewalk and let the
no,
rain
I'm
hit
talking
'em,
about if you're just walking down the street
No,
and it's raining
I
and
don't
it's storming something. And so it doesn't affect the,
I don't think so. I mean, I'm like John, I haven't tried it because we've not been, I don't like going out in the rain.
I go out and use but any kind of weather.
That's a really good question, John, honestly, and honestly, no one has asked me that question, so even I don't know an answer. But I can imagine if a water droplet gets in front of the camera, then the image would appear not, it wouldn't be able to make it out anymore after that.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if water, it's resistant to water damage, or if it's past IPA, what's it? IPA.
But no, it'd be good.
60.
Also, remember the camera is very tiny. It's like a thin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very, very tiny.
I noticed on my phone, the best thing I use
Here,
right now
Pat, you wanna play with mine?
is Be My Eyes.
Yeah.
And the thing about Be My Eyes, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but you can go to this thing called light sensitive, and it'll read how much light's in the room. It'll go, "Ooh."
Right.
Right.
It's really good for that. I use it every now and then, especially I go to a place where it's dark, I turn it on, and
Yeah.
it's like, wow, people kind of freak out, there's one woman, she was, wow, they just don't, people just freak out when they see some of the stuff like what I got.
So any more questions on about the meta glasses?
And Debbie, when it's time, after questions, you asked me to share a resource about tutorial, and so just let me know. It's Holly here.
I do want to mention a few last things here.
What's that, Roberta?
With there's 3 different agencies or supposedly can pay for the meta glasses. Your health insurance can possibly pay for your meta glasses.
Wow.
You would have to look it up to see if they have a policy.
Certain insurance.
Yeah, certain insurances are willing to pay for the meta glasses. There's also
And I should say, you can get prescription lenses in your meta glasses. I remember when we were at the Ray-Ban store,
Yeah.
that was one of the things that they said that they could do, is put prescription lenses. So that might help with your insurance too.
What about insurance? I got Medicare and Medi-Cal. They pay for some of that?
You'd have to ask them.
Well, good Medicare does. I doubt that they don't pay for that.
What else were you gonna say, Roberto?
oh no, just and then for anyone to pass on the word, like if you know anyone that's working and under DOR has been covering meta glasses as well.
Oh, that's good.
That is good to know.
Yeah, that is good to know.
But what about people who don't work, like, you're not older, like I'm 74 years old, I mean,
You'd have to check through your insurance directly.
yeah,
There's usually a number, like a customer service
Yeah,
or
yeah.
a member number on the back of the card that you can call.
plus they get SHO, which is, Central Coastal Lines.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not too sure. You'd have to ask them directly.
So Holly, what you got for us?
Okay, got a couple things. First of all, just a couple of resources I find handy. The first one is I joined a group email list. Some of you may be on it. It's smart glasses. And it's not just for our meta glasses, it's for all different kinds of smart glasses. And it's blind and visually impaired people primarily. And so that's been very helpful to learn about other glasses. And they put in links to webinars and just different things. To sign up for that, send an email to smart glasses, that's one word, the plus sign, subscribe at groups.io. So it's smart glasses plus subscribe at groups.io. And in the subject, just put subscribe and just send a blank email, and they'll get back with you and you take it from there. It's become a pretty active list with all of the smart glass stuff happening with the different brands and people really getting into it.
Holly, could you send that to Sophia so she could add that to the list for?
Absolutely.
Oh,
You betcha. Yes, Gail.
Holly,
Yes.
are there like 10 things a day, or I mean,
It's gotten pretty hefty to monitor, yes. And some of the threads are long. And some people sometimes share things that aren't that helpful. But then
yeah,
there's, it's kind of like a treasure hunt. I think of it, I sift through, and yes, it's time, which is precious. But then I find a gold nugget. It's like, ooh, this is really helpful. So, it's just one of those things. You got to figure out whether it's going to work for you. I question mark it sometimes.
yeah, okay.
But it's been good. And also there's a gal whose name is Carrie. I think her last name might be Gonzalez. She has a YouTube channel called Carrie on Accessibility, and she does some really good work. I'm not sure if she's blind or low visioned, but that's her. That's where she's coming from, and she has been trying out the different glasses and reporting on those. And it's nice that she's on this group list. I really am appreciating that she's joined us. So that's a little tip. And then the next resource I came across is that Bevy had asked me to share about. Just this last month or so, a tutorial has been released that's for sale, made by a fellow who is, I believe, blind, maybe very low vision. Partially sighted. Thank you. His name is, I don't recall his first name, Brent Harbolt, Harb as in boy, OLT as in Tom. 10 years ago, he started this company. It's called Harbolt Company. .com is his website. He was new to me. This company's new to me. It came up as the Harbolt Company 2025 Ray-Ban Meta Glass tutorial. And so I followed it up and checked it out and decided to spend the $49. It was like, oh, do I spend the money? But I'm glad I did. It's got almost 10 hours of training specific to our glasses. He did it in sections, like chapters, like one on making phone calls and another on how to set things up and how to do this and that. And so that we can more easily access that specific, those topics that we really want. There's 12 or 13 sections. The first section, I believe it was titled Introduction. I listened to it. It was free. I listened to that before I bought them. And I will note it's him talking from his experience. It wasn't scripted. It was quite casual. It was not smoothly produced, studio quality. I decided to go ahead and spend the $49. And I am glad I did, because when he gets into the different sections, the different topics, he does really good demonstrations, and he must somehow put some kind of a mic up by his glass frames, because I can hear him talking to Meta, and then I'm hearing Meta's responses. So it's helpful that way. So I found it a good training tool. There's a lot of good tips there. Again, it's, it may not work for everybody. I'm not saying go spend money and buy it. Let's see, what else can I say about that? Oh,
Holly,
Yes.
How about updates? Does he offer any updates?
He did say I believe in the introduction, and that was a swaying fact for me, that he plans to put updates in there as needed. And he seems like a pretty down to earth guy. I talked to a friend who is blind, who has a career in vision rehab, and who knows of this company.
I know of it too.
Thank you. She said he has a good reputation. He's a good guy. He only provides products on his website that are helpful and accessible to visually impaired. And I hear he puts an audio description for each product. So to buy that, you go to his website, harboltcompany.com, and then go down just a few things, and it lists the 2025 Metaglass tutorial. So there you go.
I know another thing that's probably good for us, if you're setting up a TV for somebody, you don't see, you just use the glasses, right? But they'd work.
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing that's handy about it is if you're in a grocery store, say, with all the aisles, you can ask it to read the signs that are hanging over the aisles to, basically tell you what's on this aisle, and that just helps you navigate through the store.
The only problem is, how do you know where the signs are? You can't see them.
Well, you generally know that you look up.
Oh, yeah, that's what you look up,
It's up to the glasses to find.
Yeah, and they will. They are pretty good at
Yeah.
Move your head around, right?
Yeah, can I go like this?
because it's looking for text as well. So
It's Holly again with just a little PS about that tutorial. I think there's a couple of ways of downloading it once you purchase. I did the Dropbox, and that's kind of a new area for me too. I did have the Dropbox app. It's not something I use much, and it's been pretty easy to access it. So I just open Dropbox, and there it is, and I can go to the different sections. So I've been just starting to chip away at listening to that. But I wanted to mention the Dropbox in case it got scary, in case you decide to go ahead and do that. That part's working well for me.
the other thing I'll mention is that all the photos that it's taking and the video that it's taking, it's storing all that in your iCloud account. So you could quickly use up a lot of space in your iCloud account. So you need to kind of monitor, the photos and delete this one, delete this one, delete this one. Otherwise, you're gonna clog up your iCloud account, depending upon what size of the storage.
Can you tell them to delete certain things like your email, just like your phone?
I've had to the only way I know is manually. Now, Roberto could probably tell us a much faster way.
Yeah.
But that's another topic.
I was wondering where the photos and videos got stored, so thank you for bringing that up.
I've never looked at, I've tried to find them before, but I've never found them.
No, they're there in the gallery, and you can also transfer them to your iPhone account, to your regular iPhone Photos app.
Yes.
Yeah.
The only reason I know is because I got an alert that my account was getting near its limit. I go, what? I haven't done anything. How can I be getting near my limit?
Well, you must have a lot of photos of it.
It only
Well,
costs
because
99 cents to get
from my
more
medits.
time.
But it doesn't register the photos that you say, when you just say look and do this, and then it takes a photo. Those do not get saved.
Right.
No.
But like when I was at that art museum, and every painting I took, it saved an image to the iCloud.
I wondered if I wanted to take a picture of Bob and I took that picture, could I ask Meta to say, or to describe that as a picture of Bob Geyer?
No, it won't do people. But you could transfer that to your phone, your Photos app on your phone, and then go from there.
But it doesn't talk and tell you what it is either unless you name it.
Oh, well, I got photos of my phone, and what happens when you take a picture of anything, like a plant or something like that. When you take a picture of it, you can go down where it says, it's on the bottom, or the button's on the bottom. And I
Right.
think in the middle, the end of that, it'll say, um, not photo, but it'll say,
Camera roll.
no, it won't say that either. Info. And you're on that, and it'll come up and say, it'll tell you, describe it. And then if you want to know more, they say, describe more, and you hit that and describes it. It'll describe
Good,
whatever it
John,
is.
you know all of that.
Well, I did that by just by fooling around. Oh, let's see what this does. Let's see.
That's great.
Yeah. And then, of course, the thing good about it, you can always say, you can always say escape too. You just, like I got pictures on my phone. Now, it doesn't describe things always the way it should. Like I have pictures from a hiking trip, and I took them. Well, actually, they're in my emails, and I took them transferred to my photo gallery. So, like it'll say hiking poles, but when it gets to the gallery, it'll say fishing pole, which is a hiking pole.
Huh.
So it doesn't always describe things like you think it does. It'll describe the backpack, it'll describe what you have on, you know. Describe
But
you're standing on rocks, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's voiceover generating a description.
Yeah, exactly. So I found out about that, you know, just like, cool with it.
Thank you for sharing that. Is John Glass still on?
I heard a thing that he left a long time ago.
Oh, okay. How about Donna? Are you still there? You got any questions?
I'm gonna step outside, guys.
I think Donna left too.
I'm still here. I'm
Oh,
still
you're
here.
there. Oh,
Yeah,
great.
all
Hi.
my questions are getting answered. I can't even think of any extra questions at this point. My mind is full. Very exciting.
I do have a question. This is
Yeah.
Tiffany. When charging the case, is it okay to keep the glasses inside or should you remove the glasses while it's charging?
It's okay to keep the glasses inside.
Yeah, mine are
Okay.
always inside the case.
I
Okay, good to know.
do
Thank you.
either.
And just for everyone that's on Zoom, I noticed when I was holding your case, Bob, that there's some sort of little magnetic component to help make sure the glasses are secured in the right spot when you put them in so that they're charging. And it seems to be near, kind of on the other side of where the clasp is,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And where that clasp is, it's actually a light, and so that if you can see it, that it's it's either green that everything is charged, or it's orange meaning it needs to be charged, and when you're pairing, it'll turn blue when you're pairing your glasses with.
Oh, wow.
And the one accessory I did buy when I got my glasses up at the Ray-Ban store was the croaker, the lanyard. And
Yeah.
they kind of color matched it to my frames and my lenses. So it's pretty cool looking. I think it wasn't cheap. It was about $18, but boy, am I glad I bought it. And I just leave it on my glasses. And yes, it will charge in the case. I just leave it on out either side. So the lanyard's on the outside of the case. It works fine. And it's always available around my neck. If I don't want them just dangling and on, I fold them and put them in a pocket on my shirt or over the top of my blouse or something. So they're always really accessible when I'm out and about. I like it.
They fit pretty tight in your face though, because boy, sometimes you walk around, it might fall off or something, you know.
Here, you can pass these.
That's what happens when you go into the store and they fit it to you. And when I very first got mine, John, they were a little tight, back at like where the ears, back at the ears are.
Yeah.
But now they're very comfortable, so they, kind of formed to my head a little bit.
And John, that's the small size. That comes in a small and large. I'm kind of stuck as like, should I have bought the large or not? But I'm okay with the small ones.
Wow.
You're welcome to try them on.
Really?
Is there any talk about having a longer battery life?
Well, the newer ones, the Oakleys, have a much longer battery life.
But they don't have as much choice in brands.
I think they have like 3 or 4 different styles of
Right.
Oakleys now.
Okay.
They just announced a new one.
Oh, they fit,
Over the weekend.
oh, they're really paired up.
But the batteries, I mean,
know.
they, like I put mine,
That
and
means
so
that
I say, hey,
you're-
Meadow, what's my
You're,
battery?
you're
level?"
now paired to my iPhone.
Wow, that's
So
pretty cool.
it's going on 12:30.
They fit me
and
really
I
good.
put these on at 10 o'clock. And it's still 85%.
Yeah.
And then when it starts to get low, then you just have to put them in your
The
case.
battery when you talk to it, is that correct?
Uh,
Sure, these things go in there.
Bob, is that correct? I think
I don't know the answer to that.
I think it's using the battery unless you close
Oh,
the,
yeah.
like you, with sunglasses, how you'll close them
Yeah.
one arm over another. I think then it's not using the battery, but otherwise I think it is using the battery. But like I said, it's already been over 2 hours and it's still 81%, so.
Now, how do you check the battery level? Do you just ask it?
Yeah, I just
Okay.
asked it. Mhm.
Okay.
And also it gives you a warning at 15% and then again at 5% that you need to charge it.
My phone says low battery. That's all my phone says.
Does it, you said it takes about 35 minutes to charge?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
about 30 minutes, I think. Yeah, we'll bring it up from when you put them in the case and they charge it. Yeah, they charge it fairly quickly.
Wow.
I've been pleasantly surprised with how fast they charge it.
Now, a question I have, so once you've got them charged, is it best to store them? I mean, does it hurt them to stay in the case for longer, or should you remove them from the case once they're charged, or what's
No,
the,
I wouldn't worry about it.
just leave them in there?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I do.
yeah.
And then they turn on when you pull them out of the case.
Okay.
Wow.
And usually when you first put them on, not every time, but most of the time it'll tell you the percentage. So if it's not 100%, then maybe it's time to charge your case.
Right.
And I will say, maybe twice a month, it'll unpair itself from my phone. And I have to go through the pairing process, which isn't
Really?
difficult.
My never has done that.
Well, yours didn't work in the very beginning either.
Well, my phone doesn't work very good. My glasses don't work.
I heard that was a problem, but one time I was still, if they're still solid, they'll have, sometimes they'd have a connectivity problem.
Yeah, I think like a lot of things, it's just the individual one and however it was manufactured and there's got a little glitch in it here or there that the others don't have.
Exactly.
And also, it doesn't come with the charger, as I forget, right? And then
Right.
my Victor charger for my Victor Stream 3 works with that.
Yes,
And
USB-C.
thank you, Bob. I was hoping you'd jump
Patty
in.
called me up after we got home and said, use your Victor Reader charger.
Yeah,
There you
I think I learned it from you. Thank you, Becky. And then thank you, Patrice.